that even if you're not surrounded by a large group of people that can see or hear or understand what you're saying, push on through and don't listen to no. Where you surround yourself and you choose, and you must choose, to surround yourself with people who are invested in your success. Because part of what I want to remind everyone here is don't ever walk out of here apologizing for your success. And always think about who among the people that I speak with every day, who among the people whose opinions I care about, are the people who are invested in my success, who are constantly applauding me on believing I can do what I want to do. If you don't have those people in your life, you better find them, because usually those people who are most likely to be good at it are the same people that if you ask them for help, they'll say yes. And so part of what I'd like all of the folks who are here to think about is the role you can play in your community on so many important issues, whatever it is that matters to you, based on the experience you've had in life, based on the experience your family and your parents or grandparents have had, based on the experience your neighbors have. There is a role for each of us to play, and it is truly about understanding that each one of us has a voice, and a very powerful voice when we choose to use it. Every stage of your life, no matter your age or your title or your income, you have the ability, if not the responsibility, to consider yourselves as role models and then own that power and act accordingly. So remember that. And then last, I'll leave you with some advice my mother gave me. And she said, you may be the first to do many things, but make sure you're not the last. My mother had 2 goals in her life. 2 goals: to raise her 2 daughters to be productive and to end breast cancer. It is the work of knowing that we each as individuals can make a difference, and then working toward that, knowing what can be, unburdened by what has been. People said to me, you're going to run against him? Why? There's never been a woman to be the district attorney of San Francisco before. There's never been a person of color to be the district attorney of San Francisco before. People said to me, it's going to be really difficult. People said to me, it's going to be a lot of work. Why don't you be a little bit more quiet about that? And I will say to each one of you, when you have that experience, you must also say no. My mother had many sayings, and one of them is she would say to me, Kamala, you may be the first to do many things, make sure you're not the last. I am a daughter of divorced parents. My parents were divorced when I was 5. And just being very frank and candid with you, when Doug and I started dating, you know, his parents had been married over 60 years. I had to explain to him what it is like to be a child of divorced parents, and including that it was really important to me that I knew what he and my relationship would be before I formed a relationship with the kids. The most important thing is that our kids grow up healthy. And, you know, I think of the many things that we role model, probably the thing we role model the most that we don't realize is how to form healthy relationships. I grew up with the family that is my family by blood and the family that is my family by love. There's the family you're born into, and then there's the family you choose. And it's on you to make a decision about what you want and how you define your family, and you have the right to do that. My husband, Doug, is one of the strongest, most self-actualized men I've known. I feel very fortunate to have a husband who is he's just secure in his skin. He's not trying to be anything he's not, and
He's an incredible father to the kids. He's an incredible son to my in-laws. The thing about Doug is that he is exactly who he is. He's just fully authentic and clear about the things he cares about. And it's family, it's his work. I end the day pretty much every day these days asking myself, what can I do more? If you give a child from the beginning of their life all reinforcement that tells them they can be anything and do anything, and that they are loved and that they are special. When people feel alone, it's very disempowering. Right? When you feel it's like you against the world, it's very disempowering. And I want people to know that they are not alone. That whatever gains we make will not be permanent. It's the nature of it. So the second point then is, understanding it is the nature of it, do not despair. Don't throw up our hands when it's time to roll up our sleeves. Be intentional about who you have in your life, to the extent you can. To be intentional about, do you have people in your life who applaud your success? Do you have people in your life who you trust? Do you have people in your life who, when you trip and fall, they laugh with you and then they pick you up and push you back out there? Most people have ambition. They have aspirations. They have dreams. And they are willing to work hard. And if we give people the opportunity to actually meet those goals, they jump for it every time. We should be conscious of the fact that there are certain choices we can make. And one of them is about who we choose to be in our life, in our inner circle. And so choose to have people in your life, in that inner circle, who are supportive of you and who will encourage you. People who, when you trip, will laugh with you when you trip, but then pick you back up and push you back out. You should never hear no. You should never hear nobody like you has done this before, or it's not your time, or they're not ready. Don't hear that.